Welcome everybody to this final Q&A and final conference of the day of Nollywood Week for today. And so I'm pleased to have with us the cast and crew of the film that we all just saw, On the Vibes. They're here with us today. And before I bring them on and introduce them, I would just like to say that we are really excited to have, a film with of this new generation to start and kick the film off. So I will let them speak. As you saw after the film, there was a presentation that they did put together, as this is their world premiere and as this is opening night. So they did put a presentation together where they were able to already kind of speak and give you some information about the film. So if you do have questions, this is now your time when you can engage with them already, as they already kind of presented a lot. But let me bring them on with me. So first we have Taiwo. Hi.
Hi. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. If you can present yourself, your role in the film, and your name.
Okay. My name is Taiwo Egunjobi, the director of the film that we just saw, and I'm also a co-writer also.
Okay, and I'm going to bring in. Okay. Hello. You're on mute. You're on mute. Okay.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm Ayodeji, screenwriter.
Okay. Very good. And Miola.
Hi, I'm Miola, producer and editor.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is the team behind On the Vibes. So it's your opening night. It's your first time showing the film to a live audience, and did you all stay? I want to know, did you all stay and watch it live and just now, or did you kind
Definitely.
of?
I actually
Yes.
wanted to see it again, so I was there throughout.
Okay, and are you nervous about how the reactions are to your film? Are you?
Of course, it's of course. I mean, you usually be scared of how people will receive your story, if they like it, if it's good enough. So definitely, there's a bit of nerves there.
Okay, yes. So while we're waiting, because I think there's a bit of delay from our chat and what everyone else is saying, but while we're waiting to see if there's any questions from the audience, the floor is basically yours. I'll let each of you all say anything that you want to say. If there was anything that was missed in the presentation that you put together, we're missing the main actors. Are they around?
They should be.
They should be. Let me check quickly with them. They should be.
I see is Tolu. See, there's someone connecting. Let's see if we can bring them in. I'm not sure if their connection is up yet. No. Okay, it looks like they might be trying to come in. But yeah, in the meantime, we can. I'll first actually start with Taiwo. So this is your second feature, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and why? I mean, I know why you felt inspired to make this film, but why now? Why did you feel like this is something that needs to happen now as a story to be told?
All right. I mean, all the kind of films that I want to make are stories about humans and stories that have a deeply human angle. And that's kind of cinema that I've been inspired to do by my mentors and people I've watched growing up. And so last year was quite momentous in Nigeria with the protests. And, basically all over the world, there was protests, and it was mostly youth leading this protest. So On the Vibes felt like the right story because it just seemed like the year where a lot was happening politically and lots of uprisings around the world. And On the Vibes is a film about young people going through deeply serious issues, despite having their own exciting lives. But basically, the politics of the day, the violence, the crippling social conditions, and so it just felt like the perfect time. Right now in Nigeria, there's kidnapping everywhere. There's violence almost every day. Students are kidnapped almost every day. The schools are barely back. So it's just like it's a statement about what's going on today. So it just felt like the right film to do.
And another question, because I mean, you said it's very grounded in what's happening today, and as you mentioned, yeah, there is that element where we see, kind of like the joke about SARS, and it does remind us of what was happening, kind of like last summer during that. And but one thing that was kind of funny is that throughout the, another big thing that's been happening this past year is the pandemic. And we just see only one guy with a mask, and it's like under his chin. I'm assuming that was intentional in a way of a commentary on that.
Definitely, here in Nigeria, especially where I stay in Ibadan, we simply say there's no corona where we stay, and that's like a very, should I say, very wise attitude. But that's just what it is back here. People don't necessarily take. I mean, after the lockdowns, people just said, well, let's just go on with life. So basically, a lot of people just abandon the idea of using face masks and just say, well, we die or we live, let's just go on. That's just what's happening.
Okay, and something else with the film. I mean, we've been seeing, especially in Nigeria, we've been seeing these blockbusters that are constantly coming out in the cinema, and it's become a thing of you put big stars in your movie, you have hard-hitting jokes and a lot of good music, and and everyone's kind of looking at the numbers and what you can get from the box office. I guess Imiola, being the producer, I kind of wanted to find out from you, what are you expecting in terms of this film? Like where do you all plan to take the film, and what are you expecting? How do you expect the Nigerian audience to react to such a film?
Okay, I think first of all, when we embarked on making this film, the first thing was on our mind was we asking the question: was it going to be a cinema film, or was it going to be basically a TV film? So we had to answer that question first before we.
Miola, I think maybe your connection might have. Okay, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so when we answered the question that it wasn't going to be a cinema film because we were not really interested in taking it to the cinemas. I mean, it's not mainstream. It's not what you see in the cinema now. It's not the regular Nollywood film that people are making now. So we said, okay, this is more a TV film. And if it's a TV film, what platforms are we looking at? So we decided that we're going to take it on festival run for a couple of months or a year, and then shop it around for SVOD platforms and see what we can come up with by the end of the festival run.
So this was more of a passion project and not looking to.
No, definitely we're looking to make some money from it, put it out there, people to watch, and yes, but it's also a passion project for me. But it also we are so going commercial with it. Once you're done with the festival run.
Okay.
I mean, let me just pitch in there a little bit.
Go ahead.
So just to pitch in, so the idea is that we believe that there's a market for films that are not mainstream in Hollywood. And so we've seen that over the years. You premiered Kasala here a few years ago. Kasala did very well on Netflix, did very well globally. So we just believe there's a real market for non-mainstream films from Nigeria, and that's what we're looking at.
Well, that takes me on to my other question, which was actually for you, because you did mention in your your virtual red carpet, you did mention that you were inspired by Kasala and as well as Laim, which is a French film.
Yeah.
So I did want to know more about that in terms of your inspirations and your style, because Kasala was a film that we did have in the festival, and Laim is a very celebrated film.
All right.
No,
please finish up. Sorry.
No, well, I was going to ask in that line, would you kind of identify or classify yourself as a director that is looking more than generally as a director, looking more in
All
terms
right.
of like art house and these kinds of styles of films?
I mean, definitely, I'm inspired by many films. I'm sort of a cinephile, maybe not as much as some people, but I tend to love a lot of global cinema. And like I mentioned earlier, I really have been inspired by Matthew Kasovitz, La Haine, um, Juice. That's the kind of film we wanted to make with this. Boys in the Hood. Films about teenage youthful alienation, urban dramas, and really that's the focus of my kind of cinema. The kind of people I follow in the industry, people like Sunday Kelani, Femi Odubemi, are people who have always tried to walk outside the mainstream because they believe in the stories and those stories are now being told and outside the mainstream basically, and that's why it's not difficult to notice that I'm inspired by Usmani Sembene. I'm inspired by filmmakers like Abakia Rustomi, Ashgar Fahadi. These are foreign directors that really focus on human issues, especially the political satire. And that's really how I place myself as a director. Of course, I want to do fun stuff, but I think there's something my sister and I've got to get out, and that's the serious matters. That's about what is going on in our country, what's going on in Africa, and how can we use cinema to dialogue about these issues. Really, that's my focus right now. Maybe a time is coming when I will want to do something maybe a bit more commercial. I don't know. Maybe something a bit more mainstream. I don't know. But right now, I've got something in my mind, and we've got to just tell those stories right now.
And speaking of telling those stories, we do have a question for Isaac in terms of the writing process. So from Musa Jeffrey David, they asked, they said, this cuts across as a deeply personal film. What was the motivation behind the writing process?
Writing like the director has said many times, the story was developed while working with him. We met and we decided, okay, what story do we want to tell? We realized, okay, things were happening around us. The pandemic was the fact that schools were on lockdown, businesses were closed, young people were actually not doing anything, their lives were stopped. And we realized there was also like a dearth of stories about young people. A lot of our films try to focus on the class of people, the elderly, the rich people. Nobody tells the story of young people. And that's what informed us majorly. Okay, let's tell the story of young people. Let's fill a gap with a story that is deeply personal to us. Because we are young people ourselves and we know how these things affected us. They might not affect us as acutely as others, but we can relate to the whole idea of having to just sit down at home because there's a strike going on, conflict about what you want to do, passions that conflicting with what your parents want you to do. So these are things that we can relate with and we decide to present on screen. And also along the line, while creating, other things happened. There was the NSAS protests and several other factors. And then slowly, the desire to tell this story increased because we realized, okay, we are telling a relevant story. And then just pushed ahead with it. The hope eventually is that we tried as much as possible to tell the story of young people as well as we can. And we possibly hope that we have ignited the interest in the stories of young people. Young people are trying to do great things despite the difficulties. That's what we want to achieve.
Okay, some just to let you, your mic is going a little in and out, so some of it I might have missed, but overall, I heard you saying to fill in a lot of the gaps of where some stories are leaving out from, and to kind of be the voice of the youth in a way of telling the stories of the difficulties that they're currently facing and going through.
Yes, definitely.
And just in another comment that someone said, that it was funny because while they were watching it, it reminded them of Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, but within an African context. And so they said they loved it. They said they love that. So it looks like you're getting some good feedback right now, some good reactions from the viewing audience, which is great. I see that like some of your other actresses, your actress and your actors are on. I'm going to quickly bring them in. Because after that, we want to we want to maybe I'll move to bring them in one by one, because I'm not still sure if we're going to be able to have our musical act, if that's going to still happen. I'm hoping so. So I'm going to put him on the spot and find out. Hello. So we have Tolu, Tega, if I'm saying that right, and Martini.
Hi.
Hi. So Martini, you're all covered up there. Can you tell us your role in the film?
Hi everyone. I'm Martini Akunde. I was the production manager.
Okay, great. And Tolu?
Hi, I am Osale Toluwanimi and I played the role of Shadi.
And Tega?
Tega, you're
still on mute.
Hello, I'm Tega Ethan and I played Abiola.
And so I would say, so Tega, I see that you have a microphone. You look very professional right now with a microphone and a setup. I'm hoping that this is that this is going to be leading into our next thing. So are you still going to? You're a musician in real life, or you are an actor only?
I'm a musician in real life.
Okay. Okay, and so based on the film, I get it. You don't do Afrobeat.
No, I dabble once in a while for the fun of it, but like I don't do Afrobeat.
Okay, and Tolu, is this your first feature film that you have done, or have you been in some other things, or should we look for you in something coming up soon?
This is my first feature film. I've actually done a short film before, but this is my major project.
Oh, well, congratulations. You seem like a natural in your role. I know you say you're already a daddy's girl, so that was easy to play, but but you definitely you definitely brought your character through. I also have a question, actually, if I can ask, and you don't have to answer exactly. You don't have to give a real number, but in the film you will play teens or young individuals. Are you all close to that age? Are you all older than that? You all had to kind of channel yourselves back into your teen years, or you're still kind of in that space?
Well, technically, I'm no longer in my teen years. I had to come back to that age, but then I'm still not too far gone. So basically.
And what about you, Tega?
Me, in my 20s. So I just had to pretend like I was young again. Wait, no, I'm young.
Right, you have to pretend a year ago. Okay, yes, you're still young. Okay, great. All right, so I think the best thing to do, because I'm conscious of time, is that we're going to put a link inside the chat for the audience and everything, and we'll all move to the networking hub.
Okay.
And continue there. If anyone has any questions, if anyone in the audience has any questions for any of the cast and crew members of All Night Vibes, you all can ask them one-on-one with them. But it would also be great if, Tega, are you able to play something for us there?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Hoping that's what the mic was for. Okay, so then we will put the link inside the group chat, and if everyone can go to the networking hub, and then we can hear some live music and continue on with our All Night Vibes. Continue vibing. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you all. Thank you all very much. And a wonderful film. Thank you. And for all of the audience members, please do not forget to vote. It's on the page where you screen the film right underneath from 1 to 5. Thank you.